Hey Tribe, it's Stephanie Dickson, and welcome to the WEDGE TV, your weekly dose of inspiration, knowledge, and action. In a world of constant notifications, distractions, and information overload, sometimes it's hard to stay focused and even harder to remember things. Do you wish that you had a better memory and could have razor-sharp focus? If so, you are going to love our guest today, Nishant Kasibhatla, Singapore's only Grand Master of Memory. Nishant is a Guinness World Record Holder, has memorized a 1,944-digit number and a random deck of cards in 1 minute and 50 seconds. He helps executives, managers, and leaders to attain peak mental performance and boost their productivity. Nishant, thank you so much for joining us here today.
My pleasure.
So, walk us through, what does it mean to be a Grand Master of Memory?
Yeah, first of all, you have to be at the World Memory Championship. This is something where people from all over the world, they come and compete against each other, how good their memory is. And at the championship, the specific criteria that you need to hit to be able to be called or awarded the Grandmaster. There are specifically 3 of them. Number 1, you have to memorize at least a 1,000-digit number in less than an hour. Number 2, you have to memorize the sequence of 10 shuffled decks of playing cards in less than 1 hour. And number 3, you have to memorize the sequence of 1 deck of playing cards in less than 2 minutes. If you do all these 3 things, that's when you become a Grandmaster.
Well, it sounds like you actually exceeded all of those things when you did it, with a 1,944 and then a 1 minute and 50 seconds for the final challenge.
Yes, I did exceed in most of them. Yeah, that's right.
It's amazing.
That's right. Thank you.
So obviously you have to learn to focus a lot when doing that and remembering all of those things.
Right.
So I wanted to ask you, why do you think people really struggle with focus in today's world?
Well, yeah, you're right, absolutely, because a Grandmaster of Memory, you not only need to have better memory techniques, but also you need to have better focus techniques. And the reason why people are not able to focus as much in today's world is because 2 reasons, I would say. Number 1 is because of the kind of environment we are living in. I mean, we are living in an environment where we have phones, we have devices, we have notifications going on all the time, and in such kind of distractions it's very difficult for people to focus. That's number 1. Number 2 is also the human nature, and what I mean by that is we all have something which is called as the FOMO, F-O-M-O, the fear of missing out. We want to do everything. We want to be on top of our Facebook feeds, we want to check our tweets, we want to do our email, we want to be with our family. When you want to do so many things and you want to not miss out anything, that's when the pressure comes in and it becomes very difficult for people to focus.
Yeah, FOMO is quite a big thing nowadays.
It is.
And I've also heard of JOMO, so there's
Oh,
joy of missing out.
Oh, joy.
It's starting to become quite a new thing as well.
Yeah.
So how do you think we can eliminate these kind of enemies of focus?
Okay, I think a lot of people, what they're doing is they're trying to go micro. What I mean is they're saying, okay, today is a very busy day, I have a lot of projects, so they just wish that today I have a better focus. And I think that's not the way it works, because I believe that we have to see the bigger picture. And what I mean is one needs to have, number 1, the mental and physical energy to really function well. And that's the reason why, I mean, before you even talk about having a better focus, I think the first thing that people need to get clear on is you need to have enough sleep, and you need to exercise your body. Now you could be using probably the world's best focus technique, but if you don't have the fuel to function well, it's not really going to work. So you need to get enough sleep and you need to have exercise, and exercise doesn't have to be going to the gym. It could be simply 30 minutes a day for 5 times in a week. I think that's just good enough. And when it comes to sleep, I would say anything between 6 to 8 hours of sleep is a good time frame, because in the absence of these 2 things it becomes difficult for people to really focus better, and that's the starting point. And the other thing is also about people say that I want to really focus now. Well, but a better way to look at it is, what are your top 3 or maybe 5 goals you want for this year? And if you are very clear about these 5 goals, it becomes so easy to focus on a daily basis. Because once you have these big goals that this is a 3 or 5 goals I want to achieve in my life, then in your to-do list you can say, hey, is this task that I'm doing right now, does it need to be done at all? So every task that you're doing on a daily basis, if it is aligned to your 3 or 5 big goals in your life for that year, I think definitely we'll try to focus on the things that matter to us, and that's a better way to look at the situation.
Okay, so it's getting clarity on the bigger picture and working backwards from there.
That's true. I think that's a better way to go about it.
Okay, great. And so what would you say if we wanted to improve concentration? So once we've got our big goals, we're working backwards. We want to improve our concentration and maybe improve our attention.
Yeah, I think I would say, people these days, they allow what is called as multitasking. And if you know that a lot of research has been done on this subject, and they say that multitasking really doesn't work. What works is single tasking, the ability to do one thing at one time, but do it really so well that you have world-class focus in that. So I would say the best way in which you train your focus is, number one, do single tasking. Just take one thing and really do well that what you're doing. And the second thing is, being an Indian, I would definitely would say that meditation really works very well. And I know that in today's world, people think, where's the time for meditation? Meditation doesn't have to be, you have to go to India and go to Himalayas and sit under a tree and meditate. It doesn't have to be that. It could be simply focusing on your breath, and it could be as simple as 5 to 10 minutes of your day. If you do meditation on focusing on your breath, it actually you become a more aware person, you become more alert, and also your focus will go up. So I would say single tasking and meditation. These are the ways in which you train your focus, train your attention, and not only that, you become more relaxed, you feel less stress, and you have less anxiety. I think that's the way.
Okay, so I meditate every day.
You do? Great.
I do, and it does definitely help, but I'm also, I get stressed. Obviously, sometimes I get overwhelmed and I forget all my meditation techniques, and I'm sure I'm not the only one that feels this way. So when we are overcome with stress, how do we sort of be more present and not let that stress completely overtake, the focus and everything?
Well, I have a simple system for that. It's called 3, 25, and 0.
Okay, numbers.
3, 25. I love numbers, as you know.
Yeah.
So 3, 25, and 0. So what is 3? If you feel that I'm stressed out, but I really need to focus, so just take 3 deep breaths.
Okay.
The first thing is just pause and just get into the focus mode, and that's how I get into the focus zone. You've seen me doing memory demonstrations. Now, before I memorize a 100-digit number or maybe memorize a deck of playing cards, the first thing I do is to get into the focus zone, and the way I do that is just take deep breaths. 3, I just do 3 of them. It could be more, doesn't matter. So 3 is the number that I like, so I did 3 deep breaths, number 1. Number 2 is set the timer for 25 minutes. And because when you're stressed out, we think, oh my God, I have to do this, it's overwhelming. And then because of the overwhelm, people think, I don't know where to start. So the best thing is take a 25 minutes timer, set a timer for 25 minutes, and then just start doing, because action builds momentum. Because people are overwhelmed and they're like, oh my God, I can't even start. I think you need to start. And the moment you set the timer, you start the thing, and preferably you do single tasking. So you got 3, 25 covered, and what is 0? In that 25 minutes, say absolutely no to any distractions or interruptions. Because it's been proven that if you work in small chunks of time, 25 minutes at one time, or maybe 50 minutes, some people do it 50 minutes. I do 25 minutes, that's what works very well for me. And that's what I encourage your viewers to do the same thing. 25 minutes, absolutely 0 distractions. That means there's no TV, there's no phone, there's no distractions, no notifications, no talking with people. Just really focus on one thing and one thing only. Boom, you get the focus. Take a break after that, and then do it all over again. So from absolute stress, you calm down yourself and start working and build the momentum, and then you just get going. And we know that in many times in our life, it is the starting that is very important. And this technique actually helps people to get started and have better focus at 25 minutes each time.
Absolutely, I think and it is quite simple. Even though it's numbers, it's quite simple to remember.
It is.
So I think, okay, I'll definitely give that a shot next time I'm feeling overwhelmed. Thank you. So what else kind of affects our focus that we can maybe try to avoid?
Yeah, I do this. When I do my workshops and seminars, I talk about this a lot. Apart from all the things I just mentioned in today's chat, I think the other thing that affects people's focus is saying yes to people, projects, and things that don't add value to us. I think a lot of people, we say yes because we want to be nice, but the thing is actually killing our focus. So I think we need to get into the habit of saying no more often, because the more times you can say no, the more time you have for focusing on the things that matter in your life. So I think that's one thing. And the other thing that really affects your focus is multitasking. I talked about that. So say no more often and use the time for things that matter to you, your work, your family, and your projects and your goals. And do single tasking, do one thing at one time. So I think when you do the combination of these things, definitely you can have better focus.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for sharing all your amazing wisdom with us today.
My pleasure.
And I think I've certainly got a bunch of tips I'm going to put in so that I can be more focused.
Thank you. Yeah, sure. Definitely.
So, for everyone watching, what is knowledge without a little bit of action? So, Nishant and I have a challenge for you. Firstly, which one of his amazing tips are you going to take so that you can improve your focus? Maybe it's the 3-25-0 method, or maybe it's meditating in the morning. Let us know. Just pick one and start with that one first, and let us know how you go. If you liked this episode, we'd be so grateful if you followed us on YouTube and if you shared it with a friend. We hope you learned something today so that you can live more consciously tomorrow.